Amen. Hey, so the first couple of weeks of this Fruit of the Spirit series called In the Garden, we've been looking at like disciplines, potentially you can call them maybe like lifestyles. Discipline sometimes is too attached to like actions. Instead, I want it to be kind of the discipline in the sense that you just do it. Like this is just who you are. Like you don't think about breathing like until you're not breathing, until you're underwater, or until something makes it difficult in order to do that. You don't think about it, you just do. And so all of these, when it says that, the Bible says these are the fruits, is that you are doing your time with God. You are creating space in your head, your heart, your home, which has to come through practices, has to come through Bible reading and prayer and Sabbath, amen, fasting, like we talked about this last week, time in worship, community, or a generosity. Do you live with a life that is open? Whatever God gave you, he can give to someone else through you. Like these things, and then suddenly, without needing to like force it, you will find yourself naturally being a faithful person. You will find yourself naturally being a patient person. Anybody else want that? I do. I am not as patient as I want to be. I preached on the message, so I'm not going to go there again. These next ones, I'm excited because I don't believe the whole point of being a Christian is to constantly be working. Instead, it's constantly just being. And now there's a whole back section of the fruits of the Spirit that are the rewards of the changes, of you committing to a faithful life, of being a patient person, of like, are you guys kind of hearing what I'm saying so far? So the next one's love and joy and gentleness and kindness and goodness. And so today, for the sake of Valentine's Day, we're going to talk about love, and we're going to use a strawberry as our imagery for love, which is pretty standard, right? Like chocolate-covered strawberries is like romantic. It's like the thing. Like if you go to like a really nice hotel and you tell them it's your honeymoon and it's not, but you want all the benefits of it, lie. They'll put like strawberries covered in chocolate and like, oh, it's so good, isn't it? Like it's perfect. And then you take a bite and it's the messiest thing ever. And then you realize it is the least romantic food, because then it's all over your face and you're like, oh, hey person, can you give me a napkin? Because anyways, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. I got a beard, so everything just kind of gets caught there. So if it goes outside of the good zone, it's just that. And I don't know. I don't know that stuff's in my beard, and I'm relying on you guys to tell me, okay? Like I don't feel bad about that. But anyway, so we're going to use strawberries as our guide to love and looking at it from there. But here's why I want to pick strawberries, not just because of like the heart shape and like all that type of stuff, but it's got like the picture of the strawberry, I think actually has a lot of correlation to how the Bible talks about love. In this, that the strawberry goes through ripening stages like any fruit, but its ripening stages, just like it actually looks like a strawberry, but just without the color that we would identify as a strawberry. Like when you first start to see the flower, that's what we're looking at here. By the way, this, I don't know, this isn't in my message, and it's anyways. The fruit, what we would call the fruit, is not really a fruit. Those seeds right there aren't actually seeds. Those are pods that a seed is inside, and then each of those is probably about like 200 of them. In order to like protect it, it actually grows outside, and then so the red flesh right there is actually the seed sprouting and then combining together. That's why there's a membrane when you open it up. Now you're never going to eat a strawberry. Like that's what like the network is in there, and then it pulls from the vine into that, which then feeds the seeds. And so anyways, it's brilliant. I don't know, they're just cool. But anyway, like when you're looking at like a strawberry, have you ever seen like a strawberry plant? It's like, and you start to see the little stuff, like it's these like little green strawberries, right? Like, and you look at it and you go, that's going to be a strawberry. Like sometimes you look at another fruit and you're like, I don't know about, I used to like run around in the woods as a kid, and you would come across the berry bush and you're like, not sure what berry this is, if this is going to make me throw up or if it's going to be like, I found a berry. Yeah. And if it's on the ground, don't maybe eat it, because it may not be a berry. Like it might be a tinkle. Yeah, there you go. Gross. But like strawberries look like strawberries kind of from the beginning. And so, but they're green. Like they do not look ripe. We all know like instinctually that's not good. And then when they grow more, they turn white. And you're like, that feels backwards. It sounds like it should start white and then green and then red, but it goes green, then white, and then it has like, you could start to see the color, and then the final ripening stage is this like bright red. Like we base other reds off of strawberry. Like that's, when you look at something, you're like, oh, that kind of looks like a strawberry. Like that is, and even before someone told you like, hey, a green strawberry is not like a strawberry ready to eat, there's something in your brain that looks at it and goes, like, don't eat the green ones. But like you look at a red one, and no one had to tell you when you were a kid, if they lined it up, they would pick the red one because it looks good. It looks like something that you're supposed to eat. Like it like starts to glisten. Like it's like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but like and this is what I want to kind of compare this to. Like even in like the growing, developing stages of love, when you are in love, and not just the romantic love, which we'll talk about very briefly, but when you are in that spirit of love, it's just evident. You will just know it, right? You ever seen that like someone just got off of like a first date and they just have that like glow of like love, and maybe they're not like, hopefully not, they're like I'm in love, but like I don't know. I think like the romantic comedy is like, I just met my husband, and it's like, chill out. Like it's going to be okay. And everybody wants a video moment for their wedding. And so I'm convinced every person that has that moment recorded with their roommate, and like, I just got off the date with my husband, and then 3 years later they're getting married, I'm convinced that they filmed that video 4 different times with 4 different people. And you just like, oh, look, we found, and they're just a good best friend that didn't show you the other times. I don't know. That just feels like that's a lot of foresight. Like I maybe my ADD doesn't allow that, but I think love should just feel evident like that, and we all know what it feels like to be around love. We know that feeling of falling in love. It's so great. 1 Corinthians 13, it's really famous as being this chapter on love, not just the section we read about in weddings, but this whole chapter. It goes like this: if I speak with human eloquence and angelic ecstasy but don't love, I'm nothing but a creaking of a rusting gate. If I speak God's word with power, revealing all his mysteries and making everything plain as day, and if I have faith that says to a mountain, jump, and it jumps, but I don't love, I'm nothing. And if I give everything I own to the poor and even go to the stake to be burned as a martyr, but I don't love, I've gotten nowhere. So no matter what I say, what I believe, and what I do, I'm bankrupt without love. Oh, that's a word. I think a word for life right now. Whether you are in a place of love, you feel surrounded by love, or you don't, this is what we're aiming for. This is what we're hoping for, is that feeling, that ecstasy, that even all these other good things are happening in comparison to love. It's almost lacking. In that if you did all of the right things, but you didn't have God's love or love to give to other people, why? Now, I sat with Mari for lunch this week, and I talked about like I'm sometimes like an optimistic realist, or I don't know, sometimes a nihilist, where I'm just like, oh, the world is ending, like, but God. like my Christian side, like thank God for God, because I would probably be, man, I would be the most negative person in the world. Sometimes I am. Like when I don't feel love, I become so on the opposite side and this, I think, is that core feeling of where it comes from here. Love is different for different people, and the Greeks in which the New Testament is written in, they have four very distinct words for love. We've preached other messages on parts of this before. Maybe you've heard this. I want to talk about this today, but I want to try to come at it at a different angle instead of just defining terms, so that when you read the Bible, you're going to have to now pull out, like a contextual Bible where you can compare the Greek and the Hebrew. If you want, like, go ahead, please. If you're really interested, please do that, because I think that's interesting. I would love to hear your insights on that. But I want to try to maybe switch this up a little bit and see anybody like a visual person, like a visual aid changes your life. Okay, I'm a visual. Show me a visual aid. Let me write it down, have it in front of me. That's why we did those like prayer and fasting booklets last week. I need something to remind me and to be able to look at it from there. So I want to show you guys something a little bit different. And so we're going to use Venn diagrams. Woo! But here's the first love I want to talk about, which is like a natural love, okay? So this is going to be our top one right here. And the natural love like that the Bible talks about is just the general experience of being around people you enjoy being around. And you can call that love. I love being around you. I mean, I love being here at Dwell. I feel like a warmth, a positivity, like I feel like I'm taken care of. Like, are you guys with me on here? Like, it doesn't, like, I don't need, like, hear this with all like the love in the world. I don't need to be best friends with everybody, but I really don't want to be in places where I feel like conflict is the default. And so the Bible talks about, like, you should desire to be in places filled with love. Love that you wouldn't have to try to, like, stir up and make happen. Like, for like some of my, like, you were, I don't know, maybe you were the oldest or middle child and you needed to, like, play politics with everybody in the house. We were like, hey, let's play a game. Like, let's do something because I want this place to feel safe. Like, I want everyone to stop you. That's not the love we're talking about. I'm talking about you walk in and people are excited to see you. And excited just means they don't look at you like, ugh, they're here. like they're, it's just like, that's natural love. You shouldn't have to work for it. You should just be in this. This is supposed to be really easy for us as Christians to tap into because we have this. Like, we have this community of church and believers coming together. 1 John 4 reads it this way, talking about this. We, though, are going to love, and be loved. First we were loved, and now we love. He loved us first. Here's God permeated love in all of his creation. Like, you are his creation, and he is love, and he loves us, and so the natural response should be love. So if you're feeling like that's not your natural response, let's get rid of some of the shame parts of this. But what is in your world that is making it hard to love or to feel love or be loved? It turns out that it's kind of a 50-50 thing. It's really easy. Remember, we talked about this last week in self-control. It's really easy to look at other people and go, you're not making me feel loved, right? But you can only control yourself. You can't, like, as much as we have tried, and a ton of things have, like, fantasy novels have been written about trying to make someone fall in love with them. You can't. You just can't. I tell people that the person I dated before, Natalie and I, She was a really sweet person. Like, it was great. And I unfortunately, and I'm in the wrong in this story. I'm acknowledging I'm in the wrong. I was really lonely. I was living in a new state all by myself for the first time, and I was really lonely. And it was this really sweet girl that was willing to like hang out and go on dates. And I felt bad that I just wanted a friend that just wanted to be around me and naturally, like, and she wanted to date, and it's not that I didn't, I just was like, it just wasn't my drive. Like, my intention wasn't to have anything more than just like a really close friend that could fill in gaps where I could have found healthier spots. It doesn't mean her and I couldn't have been friends. We probably would be friends still today if it was that case. But instead, I just said, great, let's date. I don't know. Like, I just don't want to be lonely. And then she did something really sweet. Like I had a really busy day, and she came and she like spoke to like my love languages without me having to say them. She like brought me a Red Bull, and she brought me like a compendium of Pinky and the Brain on DVD. And I love Pinky and the Brain. If you guys don't know what it is, like, come talk to me. I want to taste and see that the Lord is good. It's a great cartoon. And it was like, it would have checked all of the boxes. She, and she wrote like a little card, and she handed it to me, and I couldn't care less. And I was like, I shrugged, not like I didn't want to say thank you. I just realized very quickly, oh, I'm an idiot. Like, I'm a jerk. Like, I am using her because I'm lonely. And if this thing that had given to me by the person I want to love me, I would be head over heels. I would be like thank you. I would just do more. Like, just trust me. Like, so it was like I stayed with her for 2 more weeks to build up the courage to break up with her, because I knew it was going to be this admission that I was in the wrong. Like, anybody else find themselves in some sort of situation where you're like, oh, I just found out really quickly you're not the person. Like, and then now you have to make the decision. And it sucks. Own up to it. But very quickly after that, I met Natalie. And like, she did similar things. She actually did some things that were less than what that really nice person did. Hold with me for a second, okay? And I went, oh, I love you. Like, you could do less and I love you more. Like that, you hearing? Like that is like, those are, so I didn't have to work. I didn't have to sum up the energy to kind of get to that thing. And so like, here's the thing that I want you to understand. Like, in order to get that kind of love, you have to grow like this plant of your life in its natural environment. So strawberries don't grow in the winter. It could be in the same location that they grew in the summer, but in the winter, it's not supposed to grow. And so then if you grow something where it's always winter, don't expect love to grow. So if your heart is cold, if your mind is cold, if you've built up so many calluses, it does not matter. If you come to the situation only trying to get yours, even in natural love, it doesn't matter. It's cold. It's not going to grow. You're not even going to see the sprout of love, much less the fruit. So create love in natural environments. C.S. Lewis calls this kind of love the most humble love, because it doesn't require my friend to be anything more than my friend. You just are, and I am just me, which is it's a great transition to this, but it's not meant to be. I should have wrote it this way, but it's kind of convenient. This next love is friendship. And I'm not talking about just like, we're all friends here, but I'm talking about like that close friend, like if you call up and say like, hey, I need you here, they're there. right? Man, some of us, we have that in family. That's really good. Like those are good spots. So like, but this is our first step in like a chosen love. We came together in natural environments, whether it was school or life or whatever it is. And now I'm going to choose to be intentional with my connection with you because you make me feel loved. This doesn't have to be romantic, right? It's that best friend, right? When you know you're going to have a hard week, do you like prep to hang out with that person? And like, even if you do nothing but just chill, it like brings life, doesn't it? Like it's like that's what I'm talking about. And the Bible speaks to that over and over again, of finding those who are close like a brother. That this is a key part of friendship, that they would challenge you. It says in the Proverbs, as iron sharpens iron, so one brother sharpens another. And brother is just, it's not a gender term. It's just like, it's like mankind. It's just like a general thing. So anyways, sister to sister, I don't know, whatever it is. But it should be somebody that you look at their life and you guys are on a similar track. You're on a similar motivation, right? And so like, if you have somebody in your life that is like, I'm trying to excel in a workplace environment, having somebody that is also understanding of that journey. It doesn't mean they also have to have that same motivation, but they just understand, hey, I'm there to challenge you when you're doing too much, but also support you when you're doing too little. And then when you just need to do nothing, I'm here. Right? Those are good. And God says that there's a great place, that the most effective place where natural and friendship love overlap here is called family. And this is your natural family, could be your natural family, or it could be your chosen family. I would challenge, instead of just going BFF or whatever it is, start calling people family. Like one of the things we did, like I'm not even sure who, maybe it was a joint decision or whatever it was, but we knew that because Natalie's family lives in different states, and then like my family's really young, so all of them are still working and doing a ton, we were going to need like uncles and aunts and like to be with our boys. Like I got a brother who lives in another state, and again a younger brother who just, when we had our first kid, was not in a life stage to be like for us a spiritual leader in their lives as they grow up. So we decided we were going to make a chosen family. We were going to have people, and we were going to have godparents who believed in our family. That we could say, anytime, any place, anywhere, you can be there, right? And when you're not there, we still feel your love. We feel like you're for us, not against us. You're sharpening us. You're making life easier, not harder, okay? That's the friendship I'm talking about. It doesn't, again, being a friend means you go through like some of the hardships together, and sometimes life's not so easy, but the long picture of this is making life easier, not harder. Are you guys with me so far? Okay, so here's the next love that the Bible talks about, and that's finally romantic love. Okay, are you guys seeing like the order of operations here? Like, you should find yourself easily in natural environments where love is there, and hopefully you will find someone in those places. It's probably not going to be a singular place, especially in our world right now where we have so many options in front of us: workplaces, schools, friend groups, churches, like all that type of stuff. But like romantic love then comes through friendship. And then maybe your chosen family people go, you got to meet this person. Like, I've already vouched for them. I'm looking out for you. I already got someone in mind. If I'm setting you up, like trust me, it's because I want them to be in my life forever, because I want you to be in my life forever, right? Okay, so like that's good. And then if they don't, like, correct those people. Like, girl, I need you to know me, okay? Like, because that guy was not it. All right, like he's got to have a job, like. Okay, I need three numbers in a letter, a 401k. Okay, like he's got to have a plan. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So like a romantic love, this should be a love that lasts. A lot has been said about love. I want to be really quickly like in this romantic love, even in like the concept of like Valentine's Day, like. We are at a very important point, very similar, I think, to like the summer of '69 kind of like point, or where love, in that it's a very free environment. That word becomes like a very free exposured environment where it's like, well, anything is good and anything is permissible in the context of love. And so the way that we've seen that up is in a media sense. Our media has become obsessed with romantic love in the form of lust. And here's what I mean by lust, is that like it is, I'm going to get excitement for me, not us. Like the desire is I feel good, and like if you feel good, great byproduct. Like, but that's not the point. It's I want to feel good. And so the Bible speaks very much so against this mentality and partnering it with the word love. It's, in romantic love, there should be a lusting after the person. Lust is not a bad word. It's not a curse word. It's supposed to be like, I am in that same energy where you would seek excitement just for yourself. Now partner that towards a person, and that they would also feel that back and forth, okay? And so it's not always like sex driven. Like it probably, that's like one aspect of like a romantic love. But like the same way that you would desire a body or looks, you would desire their mind and their spirit, like the deep parts of it that most likely are going to stay the same throughout the years that you would be together, where bodies change all the time. Like, but that's those, we always love those stories, right? Of somebody who goes through like just something really horrible, and they no longer maybe could move, or there's a disfigurement, but their partner stays with them. It's because they love them. Because the way they looked was just an aspect of them, but not them, right? It's romantic love puts you past this lust point of view into a longing point of view, both in the long journey, but also I want to be with you. Like even best friend stuff. This is where it starts getting like importantly celebrated outside of the like the intimacy parts of friendship, but like it's the like I still want my best friends to go away at some point, right? Even if they're hanging out with me, like, hey, I got a couple friends that are from out of town, and if they stayed with us, we don't have a room, but we would love for our friends to be able to stay with us sometimes. And if they came in from out of town, eventually I'm going to go, you should go. Or can I get you a hotel? And in romantic love, it's, I don't want you to go. I want you to be here. And so finding those, so the overlap of this friendship and romantic love is dating. Okay, not, like it's an old word, but this is dating is like hookup culture right now. It's very consumer driven. Okay, I have no problem with like online like datings or like sites to be able to find people. I think those are great, by the way, because like that in a very, again, media driven, very separated world, finding people where people are at and then going like meeting, great. Awesome. Like that is the formula. We just made it a little bit faster or easier to access, or that you would get a broader range of people instead of like just the ones that you'd be able to see day to day. I think that's great. Like that's I don't know. If any of you have other problems with it, I don't know, keep it silent. My mother-in-law and her husband, they met online, like, and it was in a later stage of their life as they were like taking on a new challenge, which was like, what does it look like to, date or find somebody after things like divorce or long-term commitments? That's a journey. And so then they found each other in a place that was really safe and that they could try some. Here's my problem with it is the consumer-driven part of it is, again, kind of the lust. I can just get what I want when I want. That partnered with sites to try to find each other, there's just whole sites that it's just like, I just want to hook up with somebody. I just want to get mine. I just want lust. I want what I want right now. And I think it's like, I just think it's ruining what like is meant to be what's called like that old word, which is like courtship, which is like, if I'm going to step out of friendship into a romantic love, I know I am opening my heart up really big, right? I am exposing deep parts of myself that were meant for very few people. If there was a way, one person. But that's not kind of the world we live in now, right? So we test boundaries and we try to get there. But I think we move through things way too fast, especially when sex gets involved. Because now you have to convince yourself that you did it because you love them, not just because you needed a fix, because something felt good. Stop. This is why you should guard your heart on those things. It is not because that's evil. It's just not healthy in the long run, right? There's those conversations. We've had to have those conversations where we looked at and we said, hey, and not that like she needed or I needed to disclose my past, but we wanted to. And we said, we've been with people and these are the hurts we've experienced from other people. And so I got to heal wounds that I didn't cause. And because I love her, I'm going to do it to the moon and back every time. But if I were to be honest, I hate that she has to work on stuff she didn't cause. So if I just was okay with finding some loneliness in a short period of time, God was bringing Natalie to me. But if I was just willing to wait 6 months to get to her, the problem is we just don't know that timeline yet, right? So the whole point is that then we move into the cross diagram, right, of romantic and natural, which is marriage. Okay? And can you see how the flow that's happening here? That they all start looking the same. The words start kind of meaning the same when you start getting to it. And let me kind of make it clear. The romantic love, is not necessary to live your life. If you live life single, there can be romance in your life. It's a shift and it's a whole other message. But just because you don't have a person does not mean you don't experience romance. It just means it looks a little bit different. The crossover points are not necessary for holy living, and if you don't have marriage, you're not really loving. These are just the container environments where these things can overlap. So if you have natural love and you have romantic love, please be letting it lead to its proper container. But if you're in it just to be in it, and you never progress, that dating relationship, no matter how long it's been, 6 months, 7 years, it's going to feel like work. And you always have an out. But the container of marriage says, I signed a paper, at least. I stood in front of God and man and declared my love. For better or worse, richer or poorer, sickness and health, till death do us part. And to the best of my ability, to the faithfulness of that person and me, we are going to try. We're going to fail and we're going to win. We're going to do that stuff. But it requires the fruits to partner with it, right? These are challenging parts. We all have some histories with it. What we're talking about is God's intention. So these three loves all coming together is this really important love, this one big love called agape. This is the Greek word for the love that God gives. And this is a result of living out these loves, one or all three, okay? Again, doesn't require, you're not withholding, God's not withholding, you're just there, you're in it. And in this way, agape also kind of encompasses, like I talked about with the romance part of it, that there is a love for God that feels intimate. And that he knows you even more than you would know yourself. Remember, we don't look at God and we're not lusting after God, but I am longing to be with him as he is longing to be with me. That's, again, looking at the romance of this stuff. But the romantic love is just there is a stop point. But this agape is all of everything. And here's how it displays itself is sacrificial love. It's a divine love. Worship team, would you guys come forward? We're going to wrap it up here. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 says right here, and I changed the word love. You might have heard this at weddings or you've seen this other thing. I've changed it to the love that God has for you, because this is the actual word that's in 1 Corinthians here. This is the same love that Paul says in Galatians when he lists love as an option. He says agape. You will feel agape if you're living the fruits of the Spirit. Agape never gives up. Agape cares more for others than for itself. Agape doesn't want what it doesn't have. Agape doesn't strut, doesn't have a swelled head, doesn't force itself on others, isn't always me first, doesn't fly off the handle, doesn't keep a score of sins of others, doesn't revel when others grovel, takes pleasure in the flowering of truth, puts up with anything, trusts God always, always look for the best, never looks back, but keeps going to the end. Doesn't this sound like all of the things we just talked about? And it's in this beautiful package that we can call God. And suddenly the verse that God is love and he first loved us starts to make sense, in which this was his default in mind when he made you. Similar to our chosen families, he chose you. He says, I want you. I want you in this world. I want you in this world so much because I want you to bring heaven to this world. I want you to experience me. And then I want you for eternity. If you heard your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, or your wife didn't say till death do us part, but instead said, I want you for eternity. Wouldn't that just stir something up? It would just, forever. You mean this version of me? Yes, that version of you. But what about this version? Yeah, that one. That's the one I want. I want to love you. But here's one of the cool things about agape that we're led to, is that it's an agreement to love and be loved. An important question. Would you let God love you? Would you let him want you and to see life be better? Last verse right here talks about the vagueness of understanding love. Paul wraps up his message to the church in Corinth with this. We don't yet see things clearly, right? We're squinting in a fog, peering through a mist, but it won't be long before the weather clears and the sun shines bright. We'll see it all then, see it all as clearly as God sees us, knowing him directly, just as he knows us. But for right now, until that completeness, we have 3 things to do to lead us toward that consummation. Trust steadily in God. Hope unswervingly. Love extravagantly. And the best of these 3 is love. Would you guys stand with me? Today, as we move on, I would love for you to look at the love in your life and maybe do a quick audit. Is the communities I'm a part of, do I feel loved in them? Do the friends that I have, do they love me? Do they challenge me? Do they support me? Are the relationships that I'm in, are they lusting or are they longing? And then lastly, but most important, do I let God love me? Worship team.